live on the...
No.
Okay.
I still have to figure that out.
Fair enough.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the WrestleNet Radio WrestleMania Roundtable. I am Nate Maxon, your host here, along with my brother Aaron Maxon.
Hello.
Mr. Kyle Army, the star of the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
I guess. All right.
And a guy, if you don't know, a guy, if you don't know, is
that's why I'm the star, Aaron. Because
the king of admins on Facebook and the king of customizers. Mr. Archie Mitchell is here as well.
The jack of all trades, the master of none.
And this is our flagship, our first broadcast on the WrestleNet radio station. I am very proud of this and proud of these guys for being along with me as we have built the We Can't Wrestle podcast, the Reliving the Extreme podcast, the Asylum Wrestling podcast, lots of podcasts, and you will hear those on the radio station as well.
But and in classic We Can't Wrestle podcast form, we fucked it up, and the round table is square. It was a miscommunication.
No. Hold on. We're round, therefore the table is round.
Okay.
The round table actually cost an extra fucking $3.50, and we didn't want to pay it. So
listen to how abstract that was from Archie. That was.
Yeah. I want to say something real quick. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but the very first episode of We Can't Wrestle was recorded on the day of WrestleMania.
Yes.
And now the show for WrestleNet Radio is being recorded on the day of WrestleMania.
Isn't that fun?
That is.
It's because we're all in a wrestling mood on WrestleMania weekend.
Yes.
But that's what we're going to do here, a WrestleMania roundtable discussing this year's WrestleMania 37. It almost, like Ric Flair would say, brought a tear to my eye to see wrestling in front of a crowd again on TV, on pay-per-view.
And it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, how messed up would that have been?
No, God was getting even with Vince after he beat him at that pay-per-view. It was God's turn for revenge.
It's God's heel turn this weekend.
I got to tell you, though, I as scary as it was to be like, oh, shit, maybe WrestleMania isn't going to happen on Saturday, it was kind of cool to see the backstage promos.
Yes, because how often do we get to see wrestlers actually have to do promos that aren't scripted for them now?
Right, and act really, really funny. I mean, Seth Rollins was on fire with his promo, which he hasn't been lately. Yeah, Cesaro.
It reminded me back to the old days of WrestleMania when they would do the intermissions, and you would have like all these backstage promos.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I don't know, something about it was really cool.
I agree. I totally agree.
I don't know if you guys took notes, but I'm a note taker. So when I think of something, I write it down so I don't forget. Vince, are we gonna go into like the show now or not?
But yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say Vince opened the show talking to the fans, and it was really nice. But like Vince McMahon went from being the puppet master to just looking like a puppet.
Definitely. The puppet that Bray Wyatt has on Firefly Funhouse looks better than actual Vince McMahon.
Yeah. I've always said, ever since I saw him on that Undertaker tribute, and this might be a deep cut for some people, they may not know what I'm talking about, but Vince McMahon looks like a DC Follies puppet of Vince McMahon.
Yes,
that's what he. If anybody remembers DC Follies from the '80s,
yes, and I don't know who Bebe Rhubarb is, but she did an okay job.
One of the things that made me realize I'm old while I was watching this WrestleMania is I didn't know who any of the celebrities were.
The only thing I took away from that opening performance was nice boobs. That was it.
They were out there.
My notes are Bebe Rhubarb. Never heard of her, but damn.
Damn, right.
Those are in my notes.
Well, you know, they were letting it all hang out this fucking WrestleMania because we had a couple malfunctions.
Yeah.
And, Yeah.
And leave it to the women. I was going to call them divas, but they're not divas anymore. Leave it to the women who botched the most to be the ones who fell out of their tops. You know what I mean?
Go figure.
It's like, oops. Well, yeah, there's an oops. You know what I mean?
You got a oopsie.
Peacock's yelling and Vince McMahon's here, black the screen, black the screen.
Got a oopsie. Everybody saw you boopsies.
No, I
And
mean,
who's that douchebag commentator or interviewer guy they have now that they replaced Charlie Caruso with?
I don't know.
oh, the English guy,
That guy's a douchebag. He looks
the
like
backstage English guy.
yeah, he looks like he looks just like a smarmy little
literally-
prick.
They literally ripped him out of another like WWE facet, whatever, one of their other shows that they do in England, and told him you're replacing Charlie Caruso because Charlie Caruso told him I'm going strictly to ESPN. I'm done with WWE.
I knew she left, but this guy, he just
Yeah, well, they had no planning.
And we're gonna have a new Raw lead announcer too.
it's
Corey
not this
Graves.
guy, is it?
No, it's
Adnan Virk.
Adnan Virk. Apparently, he's an Indian guy, worked for ESPN. General Adnan Virk is going to be the new Raw play-by-play guy. So, Sergeant Slaughter.
Where's Vic Tacklebox or whatever his name is? Where's that guy going?
He's getting either thrown to SmackDown with Michael Cole or
and Tom Phillips apparently is gone.
Yeah,
He's dead.
so I think
He'll get the Warrior Award next year.
Well, no, that was bound to happen to him. He sent that like dick pic and sent some other stuff, and then he got COVID. It's like he's a train wreck.
So wait a minute. Was it because he sent the dick pic that he got COVID, or
I don't think so because I haven't got COVID.
because you put those two together like they were synonymous? You know what I mean? Like he sent the dick pic and got COVID. You know?
I don't never.
Nate got my
why,
joke.
Why people send dick pics? Does anybody understand that? Like,
Yeah,
I'm glad Nate picked that up.
Why? Yeah, why is that? I hate to get off on a tangent, but like, why is that the go-to move? You DM the girl the first time. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Dick pic. What? Like,
Yeah.
why is that the next move?
here's a pic of my flaccid penis.
yeah, isn't that attractive?
Here, you know exactly what you're getting into if you say anything other than hello.
So the opening match of night 1 of WrestleMania.
Wait, we're gonna breeze past Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil,
Yeah, that was awkward. That was totally awkward.
and how Hulk Hogan doesn't mean anything anymore.
I don't think that was planned, though. I think that they sent them out there. They're like, go out there and stall them.
How about the fact that
Well,
Hulk
the
Hogan
crowd-
doesn't mean? How about the fact that Hulk Hogan doesn't mean anything anymore?
The crowd booed Hogan, and Titus O'Neil looked like he wanted to bitch slap Hogan after every word he said. So,
And I mean, Hulk Hogan did it to himself. You know, his legacy is what has happened to his legacy is his own fault, and that's the end of that story.
right,
And he probably shouldn't be calling Titus O'Neil brother.
right.
Probably not. The opening match of the show was Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I thought the match was really good. I was not happy with the finish, but I'll let you guys go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say that, and they could try to pull off whatever kind of BS story they wanted to. Oh well, Drew McIntyre did such a great job as the COVID, during the pandemic, being the pandemic champion. So he asked to go on first in front of the live crowd, and we granted him that wish. No, you wanted to put Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair in the main event, and Lashley and Drew were like, well, then get us the hell out of the arena as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was that same way Brock Lesnar said last year, put me with Seth Rollins first or whatever, that year, so I could be the first one out the door.
Yeah.
But the match was good.
I will say this.
I made a joke, and some people got it, but not a lot of people got it. I made a joke on our Facebook, and I just said, I can understand why they didn't put the belt back on Drew McIntyre. Attendance numbers were down the entire time he was champion, and when they heard he was going to open, everybody got up and walked away.
That's funny. No, I got it. I thought it was funny.
But I think Bobby Lashley going over was the right decision.
I agree.
And I'll say my point and then I'll shut up. I think the reason it is because they're hopefully going to have people back in the building, and they're going to have to re-educate people to going back to professional wrestling, right?
Right.
Okay, or sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. And what is more exciting for people to want to come and see? A heel champion getting chased, and you don't know if this is going to be the day that he loses it, or a babyface champion that you just know he's going to come out there and he's going to defend it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree.
Like I think it's more intriguing.
I think
Drew
should be
have a heel
chasing.
champion.
Yeah, Drew should be chasing.
Like, is this the pay-per-view where he's going to win the belt back? Shit like that. That's why I think they're doing it. I don't know if that's why, because that's a very wrestling-centric thought process, and they don't have that anymore, but that's what I think.
Out of the two main events that we got, like the two title matches for the world title, like I'm glad that Sasha and Bianca went on last because
they killed it.
This match was good, don't get me wrong, but like, damn, did they deliver?
Mm-hmm.
And
full disclosure, I didn't watch any of the women's matches on this one.
And then, I get it. If you're gonna have the men main event night 2, why not have the women main event night 1?
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
I did not like the finish of the match, and there's a couple of reasons.
I'm going to agree with you with what you're going to say.
not that I dislike Lashley, and I do want him to be, and I also have a theory about that too, and I'll get to that in just a second. I do like Lashley as champion, and it's not that I dislike him as champion. However, I wanted Drew to have his moment in front of a crowd, and that didn't happen, and it was just disappointing for me as a Drew McIntyre fan. Now, I don't think that they are going for. I think Bobby Lashley retained the title because if you're getting crowds back in the building again, guess who you're going to be able to lure back into the fold? Brock Lesnar, and I think they're headed toward Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. That's my call right here. I think that's where you're going for SummerSlam. Is Lashley, and you'll maybe have Drew and Lashley battle back and forth for a little bit after this, but I think that's what they're headed towards, because that was originally what they wanted to do for WrestleMania this year. But overall, good match. The women's gauntlet tag match, I gotta admit, I kind of zoned out during this, guys.
Yeah, I was watching it strictly because I thought maybe there was the off chance of
fallout,
a return. No. I thought maybe Becky might come back in, Becky Lynch with like a Charlotte Flair, or maybe they might do Bayley with somebody else. I didn't expect it to be just the 5 that they announced, because it's a gauntlet match. You never know who's going to pop in,
right,
or pop out in the case of the match itself. But
I'm glad we didn't see.
I didn't watch it because I didn't watch WrestleMania night 1 live. I had to watch it the next day, so I fast forwarded when I saw like Mandy Rose fall over or whatever. I was like, well, this is gonna be a train wreck.
Yeah, but I just fell too, and
plus I don't really care about a gauntlet match with a bunch of divas, so I fast forwarded through it, and I got to the end of it, and I saw that Natalya and Jamie Snuka won, which was okay, I guess. Is that her name, Jamie Snuka?
Tamina Snuka.
Oh, I thought it was Jamie Snuka. Okay.
I'll say it like this. I like the way that Tamina and Natalya have been booked lately. I think that they are fantastic as a tag team, because if you have nothing else for 2 second and third generation superstars, great, put them in a tag team. That's the way we've been taught. If you have nothing else, throw them in a tag team. But they've actually come off as dangerous, and I like the way that they had this match.
Nothing against Carmella, nothing against oh shit, Billy Kay, is it her fucking name?
Yeah, Billy Kay.
I like the fact that we're getting to the point now with the women where you have jobbers, where it's not every fucking women's match is this fucking revolutionary thing. Like, we're getting to the point now where it was like with the men, where you have like the dominant champions, you have the dominant people, and then you have some of the kind of enhancement talent that,
Wasn't Billy Kay one of them idiotics or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes.
She needs to go. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you this. You guys know this. I I got into WrestleMania this time, and I hadn't watched a lot of the stuff leading up to it, so I don't know what's going on with a lot of these people. What are they doing with Bayley? Because I enjoy Bayley. I don't
She
know what
was
that is.
she was the longest reigning champion of SmackDown era. She was
Understand
doing
that.
great. And then Sasha had to go over eventually because that's where the feud led us. But now it's just like Bayley's just there. And she's becoming more annoying because all they're letting her do is talk. You know
And
what
what
I mean?
I'm at, what I understand what I'm saying, like, what is that? Is she supposed to be like a Karen?
Yes, she is meant to be a Karen.
Well, it's dumb, and
I agree.
She's more talented than the position she's in.
The next match was, in my opinion, match of the night for night one. That was Seth Rollins and Cesaro. I am a big fan of both of these guys, always have been. I have not been a fan of Seth Rollins' latest gimmick. I don't like the Monday Night Messiah gimmick just because, and I know it's Friday night now, but I just find his gimmick to be boring. But this match...
Can't say that about him in the ring, though.
No, not at all. I didn't. This match was, again, like I said, match of the night for night one. Fantastic match. And the right guy went over too.
Yep.
Yeah, like Nate, I know you say it's Adam Cole, and that's fine, but I think Cesaro might be the best wrestler in the world.
He's absolutely up there. I'm not going to argue with that. I would never argue with somebody telling me that Cesaro was their favorite wrestler because I have. What am I going to say? The guy's fucking amazing,
and it really felt like they were building him coming out of that for something big.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's what I'm going to say. I'm hoping that this is finally finally him going to get a main event push. I would put the top strap on one of the shows on Cesaro in a heartbeat.
I agree. I'd like a slow build to it, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs a world title yet. What I think is maybe you give him the United States or the Intercontinental title for a 3 or 4 month reign. You let him be an indestructible champion who does open challenges like Cena did and like other champions have done. He beats everybody. He gets screwed over and loses the title. But then maybe at a King of the Ring or some kind of number one contenders match, you give him a shot at the world title.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's where you can't just, he's going to fight Roman Reigns next. No.
I agree with you. I think that it would be effective. I think an effective way to do Cesaro, especially now with crowds back in the arena, because you literally at this point, people can say what they want about certain wrestler this or certain wrestler that. Like I saw somebody when they said Bobby Lashley retained the title and he should have because he's hot right now. Okay, how do you know? Like right now, we have no gauge whatsoever as to who's hot. Because we haven't had crowds for a year. How do you know who's hot? You know what I mean? So
except Alexa Bliss.
You build Cesaro up for the next year or almost year, and then let him win the Royal Rumble next year.
Yep.
The giant swing is impressive. I've always liked the Gotch neutralizer as this finish, but that fucking spin that he does where he's got the guy on his shoulder and he doesn't use his fucking arms is insane.
Oh, that was amazing. And then when they heard they called it the UFO, I'm like, well, I could see why.
Yeah.
It's not a stupid name. It works.
Like a human being shouldn't be able to do that to another human being. It's fucking insane.
At this point in WrestleMania, I was relieved because I was afraid the fans were going to come back and they were just going to fucking cheer everything. Because it's the first show back.
Yeah.
But God bless them. They were getting into it. I mean, they were definitely hot for it. And, you had them booing and cheering, the faces and the heels. It wasn't.
How about the Raw Tag Team titles? AJ Styles and Omos against the New Day.
I'm tired of the New Day, number one. They dressed like Techno Team 2000. Which I thought was funny. And I think that Omos was used perfectly.
Me too.
He gave me Andre the Giant vibes with the way he was moving around. I enjoyed it.
I don't see any money in Omarosa or whatever his name is.
God.
I don't think you're going to see New Day much longer. I think Big E is on his way to single status. And
Well, I don't think they're going to break up Xavier Woods and Kofi, though. They're going to keep them as a tag team.
Probably, but
Michael Cole said something, and I know he was told to say it, and it just kind of made me a little mad because I was like, "Really, you're gonna say that?" As they were coming out and doing their thing, he was like, New Day just might be the greatest tag team in WWE history." Like, really? The New Day is the greatest tag team
Because they pushed them so hard.
Because they've been tag team champions 11 times.
Right. I mean,
I'm not even saying I don't like all of them. I like Big E. I like Kofi Kingston. I like Xavier Woods. I think they're funny. They're fun. It's a funny act. Do I get like it's too cool? Basically, they're basically too cool.
I agree.
Just more talented.
Yeah, but they've always done that. They've always done.
I know, but like they do shit that normal people don't do, and they don't do it just to. Like, I know they're like outlandish and they do all this shit, but they also do very subtly funny things that I don't know if everybody notices. Like when AJ was coming out, they were dancing to his fucking theme.
Well, all
and they were getting it to his music. It was
that's
fucking
the fault
funny.
of the cameraman, though. The cameraman has pinned to many wrestlers dancing to each other's themes, like Sasha Banks was doing it.
They were blatantly doing it, like they were doing it to be funny. And
but
I just the only thing I'll say about this match is it didn't really do anything for me, and I don't think that Omos guy is anything to write home about. I don't think you're gonna see anything special from the guy, and what he didn't really do anything for me.
Right. Speaking of the cameraman, those erratic camera shots, I hate it.
I feel like he's giving me a seizure because
I hate
all
it.
over the place.
Yes, do not watch this show if you have epilepsy.
Yeah,
because
but
I picture that episode of The Simpsons where Homer has the epileptic seizure because of the cat thing, the Japanese cat cartoon. Like that's how I feel when I'm watching that camera work. It's like, oh my god, stop it.
But going back to the whole best tag team ever in WWE, they fucking say that about everybody.
If Michael Cole would have said the best tag team in the WWE of the past decade, then maybe you could buy that.
Yeah, but there's times that they called the New Age Outlaws the best tag team ever.
Yeah.
There's times they called the Bar the best tag team ever. There's,
here's the thing. We all know that they want to erase Demolition.
They never called Techno Team 2000 the best tag team ever.
Exactly. But the truth of the matter is, though, they called them the best tag team. 11-time champions, longest reign possible, longest combined reign possible, and that's great and well. But you've had teams like the Legion of Doom, God rest their souls. You've had teams like, the Steiner Brothers, Demolition, the Brainbusters. Even more current teams that are on the regular. You've had Jericho and the Miz. You've had Jericho and the Big Show. You've had Miz and Morrison. You're really going to shit on your tag team division to say that this team that's a comedy routine is your best team ever?
Mm-hmm. You're going to tell me that the New Day is better than the fucking British Bulldogs?
Right.
Fuck off out of here.
Up next, Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon in the steel cage match.
This had some good moments, and it had some really bad moments.
There's something that happened, but right before this, though, and I wrote it down. They flashed back to the backstage area, and they showed Sasha Banks, and her title was like on a little end table or whatever, and she was like standing there. Nobody was around, and she was like doing like she was talking smack. And they showed her, and they were like, "There's Sasha Banks." What was she doing? Like, that wasn't a thing that people do.
I'm guessing she was hyping herself up, trying to get something in there. But that's just what they were doing all night. We kept seeing backstage, little shots of who was getting ready for a match.
I think it was more like the people getting ready to go out in front of the crowd. Like this is the crowd. Getting themselves
but she was doing it in the most sterile environment with a spotlight right over her. Like, it was bad.
What it is it's a microcosm of what WWE does, and I'm not I'm not going to go deep into it because I could do a whole hour on it, and we might sometime here on WrestleNet Radio. But it's what WWE does now, and what it is a lot of it is they say things that no human being ever would say, and they do things that no human being ever would do. They're scripted to talk and act like no one on the planet talks or acts.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's ludicrous. But yeah, I mean, and that was just it's just an example of that. But this cage match. Oh, sorry, Aaron.
No, I was going to say we can move on to the cage match, and I don't know what was going on here. I don't know what this was.
I'm getting personally tired of Braun Strowman being used in any capacity. He picked Nicholas, the 11-year-old boy, as his tag team partner. He's fighting for bullying for anyone who's ever been called stupid at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, he was torturing people just 3 years ago with the Wyatt family, and being a monster's heel. You know what I mean? It's like
we don't talk about our history.
Yeah, but
here now.
Look, I get that he wants to, fine, anti-bullying campaign. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be for that. What I'm saying is, if you literally have nothing for him, leave him off the card then.
Well,
we didn't need a Shane McMahon match.
But I think it was after he got thrown in the swamp. That's what changed him.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Kyle. It changed him to be a piece of shit. But that's besides the point.
Also,
is horrible at throwing punches. It's not good. Although, I will say the coolest part was fucking Braun tearing the cage open to pull him back inside.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like that.
The insane bump that Shane took. Unlike
that looked like shit. That looked like absolute shit. That was
I wanted Shane to get thrown off the pirate boat.
Right.
If you're going to have that boat set up in the background, let somebody get thrown the fuck off of it.
The setup, though.
That bump was terrible.
The bump was terrible, but the setup for it wasn't as bad as we've seen in recent years with him for the reason why he's doing something crazy.
Like, he didn't even choke slam him. Like, Shane just flipped himself. It was just bad.
The match,
and this whole feud was stupid. Like, I didn't watch this feud, but I watched the video of it, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is a stupid feud and a stupid angle and a stupid match.
Yeah.
The whole thing is stupid.
I'm with Aaron. I'm with Aaron the whole way.
The match was there. That's all I have here. The match was there. My biggest issue with this match from the very beginning that they started building it up, not that it was a stupid angle. It was a nothing match. My biggest issue with this match from the very beginning was you're putting a 50-something Shane McMahon on WrestleMania when you have Bobby Roode on your roster and you have Dolph Ziggler on your roster.
Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler were on this show, and they didn't even cut a promo about themselves. They cut a promo about how great AJ Styles is. And AJ Styles is great, but why are they fucking cutting a promo about some other guy? Like, why aren't they in there?
Yeah, that was my biggest issue with it from the beginning. It's time to stop.
I know he's a junkie and he's got problems. Where the fuck's Jeff Hardy at? Why isn't Jeff Hardy on this show?
Well, his dad just died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
their dad just died.
I didn't know that sucks.
Yeah, it's just like it's time to stop having the obligatory Shane McMahon match. Stop it.
Shane falls off of something every year.
I mean, Vince,
a new streak. We just know Shane's going to fall off of something.
Vince was not on every WrestleMania, so Shane doesn't need to be too. You know what I mean? It's like I understand he thinks he's one of the boys. He thinks it's cool, it's fun, it's hip. It's getting out of place now. It's like, all right, we need somebody for a match that we got to plug Braun Strowman in. Who should we pick? And Shane's like, I'll do it. And then you look around, there's 40 guys standing behind him going, but we don't have a match.
And Shane could still fall off. Shane could still fall off of something. He could still fall off of something. But let him be the guy that's managing the guy, and then he gets knocked off of something. You know what I mean?
That would be great.
Like he tries to get involved and climb the cage, and Braun Strowman choke slams him. But we're giving fucking some other heel a rub because he's getting managed by Shane. Shane should be managing people.
Here's what
shouldn't be wrestling.
Here's what should have happened with Shane. He should have been on that pirate ship all fucking night long, just drinking. dressed up in a pirate outfit. And you just see him fucking every once in a while walking back and forth. Fucking, and then at the end of the night, they fucking
Say no, man.
Right. I
He
mean,
just falls off.
right.
So the next match, I want to make a statement, and then I'm going to let you guys discuss it.
Well, can I say something about the Hall of Fame real quick?
Okay.
I didn't watch the Hall of Fame. I tried to. I got to Jerry Lawler welcoming everybody to the Hall of Fame, and then I turned it off. And I watched the the package for it. And holy fuck, the Hall of Fame is even more generic and fake without a crowd. Like, it is so much even more just a fucking commercial for the WWE.
I only watched Bischoff and the NWO. The rest I've had. Oh, and I watched Kane. But yeah, without a crowd, it's like, wow.
Let me tell you, I was again, like I said, this show made me realize that I'm old because I didn't know who most of the celebrities were. I did not know who Bad Bunny was before he got involved with WWE.
I
Okay,
still don't know.
And apparently he's wildly popular, and that's fine. That's fine. You know what? New music is not made for old people. New music is made for young people. But anyway, I'm going to say this statement, and you guys can shit on it. It is what it is. Hey, I was more impressed with Bad Bunny in one match than I was in anything Dominic Mysterio has done since he came into the WWE.
I agree, and I am very happy that he was not in a WrestleMania match.
Yep. Yes. And Bad Bunny didn't do bad here. He was fine.
No.
He was passable. He respected the business. He had like he had this delicate balance of confidence and then amazement with what he was involved in. That's all you can ask from a celebrity in the WWE. You know what I mean?
I did not approve of his Cody Rhodes like entrance with all the pyro, but I guess since he's a celebrity and a Grammy winner, that's fine.
Mania. It's Mania,
right? But he didn't do bad.
Let's talk about the bunnies losing their goddamn ears as they come.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
What's the other thing I put on Facebook that got a little bit of interest? I was like, huh, man, I was kind of digging WrestleMania, and then a fucking furry convention popped up. It's like, holy shit.
I like
why is Bad Bunny allowed to do a pile driver, but nobody else is?
He did a Canadian destroyer. There's a
fucking pile driver. It's a pile driver.
We need to. Miz and Morrison need to have credit for this too, because they made fucking Bad Bunny look like $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, they did, and but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to get off on a tangent. That's not what we're doing here. But I've said it on the show, or I think I may have said it to Aaron before. I don't know if I've said it on any of the shows. I am a fan of the Miz. I am a fan of John Morrison, but I fucking hate them together. When they're together, they're annoying. It's terrible, bad WWE comedy. I hate that. Now they were not as wrestlers. I should backtrack there. Not as wrestlers. They're both good wrestlers, but when they're together, like on the mic or doing anything together on a microphone, I despise them. It's awful. It's awful. It's the worst of WWE.
Morrison is beginning to look more and more like my divorced aunt who will buy me beer if I ask her. He's very annoying when he just keeps. I'm Johnny Drip Drip. I'm Johnny Drip Drip. I'm like, motherfucker, you were traveling the entire world, winning a world title everywhere you went, and you came back to the WWE to do this.
Right.
You know, the same thing you were doing when Vince fired you because you used to let Melina go with all the boys. You know what I mean? It's like you should have changed it up somehow. And the Miz, I have to say, they both made Bad Bunny look good. They were both selling for him greatly. But the Miz, that short-ass title reign, and then losing the way that he, they lost the match and whatnot. All I'm going to say is thank God it was made into a tag match. So at least we got Damian Priest in there to actually get a WrestleMania moment out of it.
Yep.
You know.
Anything else on this match, guys, before we move on to the main
I don't
event?
think Aaron said anything about it.
Because I don't really feel anything about it. I just thought it was just Miz and Morrison did okay. I'm not a huge fan of Damian Priest. I've gone on record saying that, so I'm not just shitting on. I mean, I understand what the guy has marketability because he's big and he looks like a wrestler and everything like that, but he just doesn't do anything for me. And maybe it'll be different now because Bad Bunny's riding on a semi truck wherever he's going next. But this match was what it was, and it's the match that's gonna get him on fucking Entertainment Tonight and everything like that. And that's what is Entertainment Tonight still a thing? But it's gonna get him on there, and that's what it was meant to be. And Bad Bunny didn't do a bad job, but I wouldn't be mad if Bad Bunny never came back.
I don't think he'll be back. He might be back for a musical performance at like
thing.
maybe WrestleMania in LA.
Now, here's the thing I want to bring up real quick, and I don't want to get off on a tangent on it, but it's interesting to me that you have two parallels between WWE and AEW. I was thinking about this while I was watching it last night. WWE has Bad Bunny, and they have this YouTube guy, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Paul.
Is that Logan Paul? Logan Paul. Whoever the fuck.
No idea.
Okay.
Logan Paul.
At least with WWE, they're marketing toward a younger audience, to the YouTube market. They're marketing towards the younger audiences. AEW, they're like, we're going to bring in some outside stars. Who do they bring in? Fucking Mike Tyson and Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, hold on though. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Logan Paul was labeled a racist because he made YouTube videos saying very bad things about a lot of people.
Yeah, they let Hulk Hogan on the show, so
No. But this dude was literally cut off from society and had to make millions of dollars worth of donations to charities and bitch and moan to come back. My point is, no self-respecting young kid watches that guy because they're a fan. They watch him because he's a bumbling idiot, and they wanted to see him get stunned by Kevin Owens, which we'll get to later on in the show when we get to night 2. And, Bad Bunny, yeah, I have no problem with Bad Bunny. I may not know who he is. I still don't know who he is. But at least he's respectable, and he actually did something for the business. All they did with Logan Paul was bring out a guy who is very annoying and didn't do much but sit there and go, oh, over and over again.
My point being, though, that, AEW is just rehashing.
No, I agree.
That,
and now they got Tyson again next week too. So
the main event of night 1, fantastic match, as I expected.
I didn't watch it, so you guys can talk about it.
Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title. This match, I you know what? There were parts of the match, and you guys tell me if you think I'm right. Where Archie, definitely you, because I know that you were probably paying attention like I was to this one.
Oh yeah.
I think there were parts of this match although the match was great, that seemed a little rushed, and I'm wondering if they cut some off of this match because of the rain delay.
They did. They cut a lot off of the show.
Yeah, I think they did. And supposedly, same thing happened at NXT, where the last match of the second night had to be rushed a little bit. And it's a shame. But Bianca and Sasha went out there and put on one hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't catch a botch. I didn't see that they did anything wrong. They were very well timed. Bianca looked like a powerhouse when she climbed up those stairs doing a military press with Sasha. And Sasha looked like what she was supposed to, which was excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I got a Facebook call. She looked like she was supposed to, a heel that's still a tweener and trying to be a face, but all in all, not bad.
I didn't watch the match, like I said, but I can tell you honestly, like Nate, you talking about how they felt like they Archie's dead apparently, but when you're talking about how it felt like they cut off time, I can tell you why they would have cut off time from those two. They couldn't cut time off of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny had that match 7 or 8 times before he got to WrestleMania, so they couldn't look at Bad Bunny and say 2 hours before he's supposed to go out there and be like, we got to cut this, and this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He would have been like, I don't know what the fuck you did. And I'm not knocking the guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? He would have just been like, what the fuck? I can't.
Right.
But you tell those two, they can go out there and do it,
Yeah.
The finish was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
you get one. And this is my opinion. I hope to God they don't overdo it with the hair whip or whatever.
Right.
But you get one opportunity on WrestleMania. And like I said, because I'm not going to be, if I was Sasha, I'm not fucking taking that. If I'm anybody else in the roster, after seeing the fucking welt that left,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking, fuck
Oh
that.
yeah, that I cringed. I didn't know if that was an added sound effect or not, and then I saw Sasha at the end of the match,
Yeah.
and I was like, Jesus Christ!
But that
You know.
right there, that is a WrestleMania moment. If you're
Yes.
going to do that, that's where you do it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Great match. Great first night of WrestleMania. And now we'll take a little break so I can pee and smoke. I'm just gonna keep the stream because
Okay.
the radio shows aren't gonna have like breaks and shit. Well, I mean, once we have sponsors, we'll have commercial breaks, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll just
Sorry about that, by the way. Somebody called me on Messenger for no reason, and then they didn't mean to call me, so that's why
no
I went
problem.
out.
Was it Mike Secca?
No, it was some guy who wants to pay for the fantasy wrestling league, and he butt dialed me by mistake. By the way, Nate, did you want in that or no?
No.
Okay,
That's cool.
I remember you asked about it last year, and I wasn't sure.
I shall be back because I got to pee really bad.
Okay.
So, be right back. Archie, how you been, my friend?
Good, man. Good. I'm getting ready to leave Tuesday.
Are you?
I'm heading to Florida with the family to go to Disney World with my grandbaby and my kids.
Oh man, that's awesome. How old
Yeah.
is she?
She is 2. She turned 2 in February, and we were supposed to go then.
Oh,
But with COVID, everything was pretty much closed or couldn't get they didn't want us to in the park that long. And now that everything opened up, thank God, and the vaccine is working, they're allowing the parks to be open till 9 p.m. and you can do certain things that you want to do. And so we're
man.
taking her now. And also, my daughter-in-law's never been to Disney World before either. So we're gonna go. We're staying 8 days, and we're gonna have as much fun as we possibly can.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah,
So,
that is so cool. That is so
So-
cool.
give me 1 second. How you been? How's everything been with you?
Good. Just working. That's Ford Motor Company for you. If it lay us off because of short part shortage, we come back and said, "Oh fuck, we made a mistake. We need to work 9 hours." So we work 9 hours right into another fucking shutdown because we're out of parts again.
Okay. So you're shut down as of right now.
Yes, we're shut down for this next week.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Because the problem is as things are opening back up, now you're all of a sudden you're having plastic shortage. You're having
Right.
which is a fucking pain in the ass. Although the last couple of weeks I have been kind of working with my brother. He started a YouTube channel where we do like games and
Okay.
they're really big into Pokemon cards.
Dude, I've been watching videos on those things and they are ridiculous.
Yeah, we've done a couple of those. Like I said, we go hunt and stuff, and like I said, we've been visiting a lot of mom and pop game shops and stuff, and it was really fucking cool. Like yesterday, we went to Fort Wayne and we went and kind of were hunting and stuff, and there was a couple guys there. They were playing. I don't know if you've ever seen Warhammer.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, they were playing that, and they were playing a Star Wars like Fleet Armada like tabletop,
Okay.
and it was really cool to watch. They have this giant fucking table, and like these guys have like these models, and then like it's basically a starfight like on this table.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was really cool to watch. Like I said, it's just been really cool to kind of.
I've watched games like that before. I used to watch people play Magic. I used to watch people play D&D, mostly because I would go into the comic book stores to like buy something,
Yep.
and there'd be like a crazy tournament going on, so I'd sit around and watch for like 5 or 10 minutes. But then I realized something. They get very mad when they have watchers. Like if you're not a part of the game and they see you looking at them, I guess they think you're judging them or maybe making fun. Like I had one guy turn around and go, "What do you want?" And I said, "I'm just trying to learn the game. I didn't know. I knew you guys were playing D&D, but I've never played it before." He's like, "Yeah, that's not allowed." And I just turned around and walked out. I didn't even buy what I wanted anymore.
See, that we've been to a couple shops that are a little shitty like that, but like
Right.
we went to last night, they were pretty cool about it. Like they, like they were very friendly and very like, "Hey, this is how it is. This is what if you're interested, this is how you get into it. We do, They had guys in there, and I immediately thought of you. They had guys in there that were doing like the painting of the figure stuff.
Yeah.
I said, "Man, aren't you would get a fucking kick out of this?"
Oh yeah, I had a couple of friends who told me that they buy those pieces from comic book shops for the games, and like, dude, you should paint. I'm like, look, I have shaky enough hands, and it's hard enough for me to do straight lines on a Hasbro. You expect me to do something the size of a quarter?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I
like,
got talking to the one guy. Yeah, they just charge like whatever they charge, like depending on the piece,
right?
and you can bring it into them, and they'll fucking paint it for you.
Yep.
And
Yeah, one guy told me you could probably, he said you could probably get like $10 or $15 a piece. I'm like, look, it's not the point of the money. I would even do it free for a couple of you guys because I know if somebody took a liking to it, they'd say, "Where'd you do it?" And you guys would tell them to, come to me. But
Right.
I don't think I can get a perfect straight line on a tiny little piece like that. It would take a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
So-
really cool. Like I said,
I haven't made anything in 2 weeks. Actually, that's the bad part.
Nate,
Hmm?
last night, me and Adam, like Adam's big into Pokemon cards, and we've been doing openings and stuff, and we've been hunting, and 'cause he's doing that YouTube channel or whatever. So last night we went over to Fort Wayne to a couple of card shops, and they had it was Star Wars like Admiral Fleet. It's this huge tabletop game. Like they had this huge. It looked like a fucking like the size of a pool table.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like different like the ships and stuff from Star Wars, and like it was basically like fucking D&D and Magic, but with like miniatures and stuff, and like these huge fucking epic battles.
That's
It was fucking cool to watch.
Yeah.
And it's time consuming. From what I heard, like some of those games can go 4 or 5 hours if it's played correctly. You know what I mean?
It's like the one guy's like, "I'm gonna attack you," and the other guy like he rolls and is like, "Well, I'm gonna have you attack the hull instead of like head on," and like they had measuring sticks to see like how much. It was fucking crazy. It was like,
Can you imagine if life was like that? You're hanging out in a bar, guy bumps into you, turn around, "I'm gonna attack you." He's like, "Hold on, roll some dice." "No, I'm gonna have you attack my buddy. You're gonna be hitting him. I don't feel like getting punched tonight."
It's like fucking Braun Strowman,
Right?
Oh,
Or you're like, "I can't fight this guy. My XP is low."
Right. I have to pee. My XP is very low right now. Give me some time.
Hey, I made that Fandemonium thing, that Fandemonium Facebook page or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
On that thing, I don't really comment much on it or whatever. But I made a comment, and I don't know if you saw it, and you would have been proud of me.
I did not.
This guy went, "How could WWE let a non-wrestling," I think he meant to put wrestler, but a non-wrestling win, and then a bunch of emoji faces like crying. And he was like, same fans. Did you see that non-wrestler win that AEW match? Clap, clap, clap. So then my comment was, I didn't see the match, but I know Omega is their champion, so they let at least one non-wrestler win a match.
Heyo!
Aaron is doing Nate's dirty work.
And then this other dude, he was like, damn, I think that wins comment of the day.
Well, I would have seen your comment, but unfortunately, I'm not in the Fandemonium group anymore. So, I haven't been for months. I don't like those potheads.
I don't know. I shut that shit down.
You know what? I'm not really a huge. You know what? I like Danny.
Danny Torres?
Yes.
Yes, I do
Danny.
too. I have no problem with Nick Hestelo, except for he overcharges for every raffle that he does.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
and I'll be honest with you. Us just talking amongst us.
Yeah,
I stay tight with them just to promote my shit.
Right, I know that. I know that. But this is what pissed me. Gold's like, did you see Hestelo's raffle? I'm like, I'm not in that group anymore, David. He's like, well, you gotta. He did 4 $1,500 raffles in the last 4 days. And I made a joke because I'm just an asshole. And I said, he's probably got a family vacation planned or something. 2 days later, because I follow Nick on Instagram, he posts that him and his family are at a cottage at the beach. I'm like, motherfucker, I was joking.
You called it.
And I told Gold that. And he's like, yeah, watch when he comes back. He's going to need extra money so they can go back next month. So.
All right, I'm going to do like 10 seconds of silence so I know the spot to edit.
Okay.
You expect us to be quiet for 10 seconds.
Nobody fart. Night 2 of WrestleMania was not as good as night 1.
It was lackluster.
But I did enjoy the show still.
Yes.
I did.
I'm interested in this first match. I want to hear what everyone has to say about some of the stuff.
Well, first I want to say I loved I wonder if Titus O'Neil improvised. When he said, Hulk Hogan, you can't call people swashbucklers and blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, oh, is he dissing Hulk? Because he was one of the guys, from what I understand, along with the New Day, that when Hogan came and gave his apology to the locker room and all that,
they all walked out.
They were all pretty much like, no, we're not accepting your apology. Right. So I'm wondering if that popped me. I was like, oh.
Titus is one of those dudes. He seems like a funny fucking guy. Him.
It was weird when they had the. I know I commented on the opening singer on the last show, but on this one it was weird because they had that girl out there. She was dressed like a Mumford & Son or whatever, but she was out there and she was singing, but they just showed like the wrestler standing on the stage and it just kept saying last night. Like, why did you even show this?
I almost forgot. To ask you guys.
What?
Was it or was it not super funny that Otis was doing his grind to the national anthem?
Yes, I noticed that. He was really dancing one night.
Yeah, I'm like he was doing his Otis grind to the national anthem, like real slow. Anyway, that's a side note. I was like, mad respect for Otis. That was fun. But yeah, they showed the guy stand on the stage last night for tonight's.
Yeah. So basically, what they were saying was the talent couldn't be bothered to come out tonight.
Right.
So here's them again last night, but don't worry, they were still there.
This one doesn't have her tits out, so nobody came out to see what was going on.
No, and I swear to God, when they announced her name, I thought they said Ashlyn Crap, and it was Kraft. So I apologize if I got your name wrong, young lady. It's my stick. It's what I do. So
a few things on the opening match: Randy Orton versus The Fiend. We've been building this up since TLC, and this is what we got. Now let me go on my tangent, and then I'll let you guys talk.
Go right ahead.
I thought that the entrance for The Fiend was classic, awesome WWE.
Fantastic. Best part of the night.
Very well done. They're the best at this stuff. They're better than any company.
Well, that's
any
Bray Wyatt.
Company on the planet.
They let Bray Wyatt make that entrance up. That was all him in his mind.
Yes. The Jack in the Box thing was cool. The match itself was kind of persona non grata. There wasn't a lot to it.
No.
And it was too short and anticlimactic. And I also put in my notes, you know how they always say Vince has his picadillos, like instead of a hospital, it's a medical facility, or instead of a title, it's a championship or whatever, whatever.
Right.
Michael Cole is you can tell Michael Cole is trained how to announce by Vince McMahon, because that big fucking thing was a Jack in the Box, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the Fiend, I had to write this down. When the Fiend rammed Randy Orton's head into the Jack in the Box, Michael Cole said, and I quote, he rammed his head into that box-like structure. Why can't you just say Jack in the Box? Why is it a box-like structure? What the fuck is that?
All right, you're talking about that. Last night, Michael Cole botched the ending of Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. When Sasha Banks went down for 3, Michael Cole started yelling, Banks kicked out! Banks kicked out! And Corey Graves, no, she didn't, Cole. Bianca just won. And then Cole went silent for about 10 seconds and it was dead air.
Yeah, because he's getting ass chewed out by Vince.
Right. So it's like, dude, you don't even know when there's a kick out. You have a monitor in front of you. I mean...
So what did you guys think of this thing? I thought it was anticlimactic, and I'm wondering if Papa Shango's pulling the strings here.
I enjoyed the first half of the match. The first half was great. I loved the fucking entrance. They could have done the whole morphing from the burnt Fiend to the regular Fiend like in a much more cheesy way than they did. Like,
right.
Anybody who bitches about this, Undertaker did the same goddamn thing. Y'all loved it so much, so I don't want to fucking like.
Well.
For all intents and purposes, this is our Undertaker and pallbearer of this fucking generation.
Right.
Like I said, I enjoyed the first half of the match. Then we got into whatever the fuck that was at the end with the fucking black shit coming down.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss and her fucking reaching out to. I was like, "Are we seeing a fucking heel turn from Alexa?" Like, what?
I don't even know if it was a heel turn per se. As somebody brought up a good point that maybe this is her dying because of all the black magic she had to do to Randy while the Fiend was gone, and that's why she was reaching out to the Fiend.
I think whoever said.
I go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think whoever said that was thinking way harder than the WWE creative team is.
I think I honestly think I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be that Sister Abigail is going to possess Alexa Bliss.
But then why would she be going after the Fiend instead of Randy Orton?
Because maybe the Fiend is the reason that Sister Abigail is dead.
No, Randy Orton burnt her house. But you're right.
Saying.
Maybe some. But I'm with Kyle. I'm with Nate. Entrance was great. The match was a bit lackluster. And I'm sure you guys have all seen Dewey Cox walk hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The wrong kid died. Well, the wrong wrestler won. The Fiend or Bray Wyatt has yet to be allowed to win at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And it makes no sense to me because you are building up this giant of a man with his persona, whether he's Bray Wyatt from the Backwoods Bayou or Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds, or he's the Fiend. And you've yet to let him have one WrestleMania moment where he actually won a match. And that's not counting the Firefly Funhouse match last year with John Cena.
And I want to say one... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Archie.
No, it's fine. It's just, it makes no sense to me. And yes, the whole him being burnt and now being back to normal again, I guess I could accept it because he's supernatural. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I do want to say one thing. Mad props to Bray for giving the tribute to Luke Harper during the match.
Yes.
I agree.
That was cool.
My only notes are Randy Orton's new gear is pimp. I liked him in that gear. Alexa Bliss shouldn't be fucking Luna Vachon. She should be Tammy Finch. Just saying.
She's Harley Quinn, actually.
Yeah, she's Harley Quinn.
I was using a wrestling terminology of it, But
Well,
and the other
ago,
the other thing I had, I let you speak, Kyle. Let me speak.
Yeah, Kyle. No.
yeah, I always cut you off, Aaron.
I know
Pop.
it's a bad habit. It's a nasty habit.
Top of the night.
This is just a quick question. It can be a yes or no or whatever. WWF, WWE wise, is Randy Orton on the same list with Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, The Rock, Austin, and Cena?
Yes.
No.
I know Archie doesn't like Randy Orton.
No.
I think I mean Randy Orton is he when we did our top 10 favorite workers of all time, he's actually in my top 10. So yes, he is. I love me some Randy Orton.
My problem with him is that we have heard for years Triple H buries opponents, doesn't let them get over. The John Cena's been burying opponents, he doesn't let them get over. Hogan played politics, didn't let anybody get over. The Rock even did it, and Stone Cold, they didn't let anybody get over. But when you look at their long list of losses, they did lose to some people that they didn't have to in order to get those people over. Who has Randy Orton ever put over except for Triple H?
The
That's
Fiend
my
tonight.
problem. He didn't. He won.
I'm just being a.
He won. Randy Orton didn't lose.
Right.
He didn't write it.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, but you can't tell me he doesn't pull politics in the back and tell Vince, I want to win.
Right.
Well,
and it's funny that you bring up fucking not being Luna Vachon and being Tammy Sitch. You asked Randy Orton's wife a couple months ago.
Yeah.
He was fucking Tammy Sitch. Fucking straddled Randy.
It was
I
sunny day for Randy Orton.
It's the only reason. It's the only time I'll ever say it. I wish I was Randy Orton that night.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler against Natalya and Tamina.
I have a team name for them.
No, I do too, and it's Team Botch 2021.
No, I already renamed. What's her name? Tamia. She's now Jamie Snuka. But I have a team name for Nia Jax and Shannon Baszler. You know what their team name is?
What?
Meat and Potatoes.
I like my name better.
Is Nia Jax is the meat, and Blazer's handing out potatoes.
Oh, and that's because thought she looked like a potato.
And that Blazer chick, but I can't say her last name. Baszler should be she should be a bigger star than what she is. Is she a big star in the WWE?
No, because she keeps botching and hurting people, Aaron.
Well, that and they fucked her up from the beginning. When they first brought her up from NXT, they didn't push her the way they should have, and they screwed that up from the beginning. But yeah, and she also is dangerous like Nia Jax.
Bad looking chick though, man. She's a bad looking chick though.
She is. What do you guys think of this match? I thought it was all right. It was. Whatever.
I think Meat's gonna get in some trouble because she was like, she said, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you," and it was like, "Come on, bitch!" It's like, "Oh, Meat."
No, they're allowed
to say those things.
They can say those words to each other now for some strange reason, but okay. I agree with Aaron on that. I think that Tamina and Natalya did a great job. I think they looked very believable as a tag team. I think Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler did not botch, which was good. They didn't hurt anybody. But I thought that the ending of the match was a little fluky because Natalya had the sharpshooter on, but then Baszler came in and put her in the rear naked choke and won the match. So who was legal?
Well, they mentioned that. They said that Baszler was the legal person.
So then why did Natalya put the sharpshooter on Nia Jax? I didn't know why. I didn't even know that. But it was a decent match. I'd give it out of 5. I'd give it a 2.5.
God damn it,
passable.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
You're right. You're absolutely
I think
right.
when Hogan saw Jamie Snuka body slam Meat, he was like, "She's trying to scoop my thunder, brother."
No, I think that when Hogan saw Jamie Snuka slam Nia Jax, he was like, "Damn, she's just like her daddy, a killer."
Did you guys, speaking of Hulk Hogan, did you guys see that
video? On, that was funny.
It was. You guys see that video I sent?
Thanks, Nate.
Well, you made me do the quiet laugh.
I know, I heard
I'm
you.
laughing to where I'm quiet. Yeah. What video are you talking about, Kyle?
I sent a video in the chat. It was like this little fucking like 5-year-old kid. He's like at Hulk Hogan's beat shop.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
that fucking kid, man, was spot on with Hogan. Like,
He went viral the last couple of weeks because he's been doing a Hogan impression, but he's apparently been doing it since he's been 2 years old, and he's 5 now.
dude, like,
So,
it was so good. It was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But I thought I thought this match was actually really good, and I enjoyed it, and it surprised me, and I enjoyed this match.
I agree.
The next match was, I think, for around a 10-minute match, the type of match you would expect from these two great in-ring performers, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Good match. Actually, I would have shortened the women's match by 4 minutes and given this match 4 more minutes.
I agree. It seems like WWE is resting on the strength of the Ring of Honor stars that they brought in, because you had Seth Rollins and Cesaro put on a fantastic match night 1, and now you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn doing it on night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Great match.
Regardless of the fact that the YouTube guy was there, these two guys went out 100% pros and put on a great match. I don't have a lot to say about it other than I really enjoyed it.
It was a standard Kevin Owens match. It was what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been doing for 20 years already against each other.
Does he do that knee driver thing all the time?
Yes. Well,
where he slammed his neck down into his knee.
They made him stop when he did it to Cena, and all Cena said politely was, "You kind of jammed me up a little bit." So Vince McMahon told him he had to pull back with the move a little.
Well,
but against Sammy knows how to take that move, so they let him do that with guys that know how to wrestle. He wrestles with.
Well, that was insane, and
it is.
I'm laughing at myself because I was drinking a little bit when I was watching this, and Kevin Owens won, which I don't know if we said that or not. But in my notes, I wrote. I don't know why I wrote this, because you're gonna laugh at this. Guess what my note says?
What?
And then after the match, Kevin Owens stuns Paul Hogan. And Michael Cole says, # down goes Logan. Like, I wrote it right in the hashtag, but I wrote Owens stuns Paul Hogan. That would have been better. If he stunned Crocodile Dundee. Like, I wasn't even trying to be funny. Like, I just realized I wrote that.
Well, like I said, overall, really good match here. And again, the YouTube guy's involvement is what it is. Whatever. You got to get your celebrities on WrestleMania.
Yeah, but couldn't they have had him try to interfere or at least jump on the ring for some reason? He just sat there looking like a 5-year-old who didn't know what wrestling was. And that's shocked faces.
Yeah. I mean, he was the lameness of this segment. You know, like the match itself, it's like, wow, this is a really good match. This guy doesn't even need to be here. There's no purpose for him to be here. The next match, and this is
there was a segment between it though, and it was, and I'm going to say this because I feel adamant about my hatred for this guy. Riddle and Khali are together for the first time. Okay. And for the first time ever, Khali wasn't the shittiest, most stupid wrestler in the
ring.
All right.
Okay, that's all right. You and I are going to part ways here, and I'm going to tell you why. I absolutely, positively agree with you on Riddle outside the ring. Outside the ring, he is annoying and lame. But I actually think the guy can go pretty good in the ring. I'm not a fan of Matt Riddle bell to bell. I could just do without his shenanigans when he's not wrestling.
I do birds fly out of his dick.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either, Nate. Can you explain it?
Well, no, I can't explain it. Ask Kevin Dunn. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Look, you're the tech guy. You're the guy that knows all the news stories before we do. You need to find out why our birds
Yeah,
fly
I
out of
didn't.
his
I
neck.
didn't. I didn't get that either. I didn't get what he. I didn't even get what it was a reference to. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Is
I
it a
mean-
stoner thing? Like, is pigeons flying out of your dick a stoner
wait,
thing? I don't.
I've smoked a lot of weed in my life.
I was just about
Never
to say,
saw
I've
birds
smoked
fly out of
quite
my
a
dick.
No, nope. Wait a minute. Can we?
Kyle, do you know what this
I-
means?
I had a conversation with a trash can, but I never seen birds fly out of my dick.
Wait a minute. You had that same conversation with the trash can. What did he tell you?
It's a secret.
Yeah, okay.
That was a garbage answer.
God.
Kyle, what did you think?
I
Riddle versus Sheamus,
I'm gonna
Kyle.
say this.
Come on
No, hang
back.
I'm gonna say this. There is a lot of guys that are on my shit list. Guys like Jeff Jarrett, guys like Buff Bagwell, they're shit wrestlers. They have moved up my list without having to fucking do anything because of people like Matt Riddle.
Wow.
It was a throwaway thing too, and it happened on the pre. Did you guys watch the pregame show at all?
Some of it, not all of
I
it.
watched it, and Lawler was kind of making fun of Riddle, and he was being like corporate Lawler now, And he said, "Oh, I don't know why he doesn't have boots. Just buy some boots." And that Pete Rosenberg guy that looks like Jim Norton, a thing of Double Bubble had a baby. He looked at Lawler, and he said, Kevin Von Erich didn't have boots, and he did pretty good. And Lawler looks at the camera like this guy's going to compare Matt Riddle with Kevin Von Erich. He didn't say it, but he wanted to say it.
That's funny.
I saw Jerry Lawler fucking he swallowed that shit for a minute. It was legit. He was like,
I like Riddle in the ring, and I liked this match. Like I said,
it surprised me that Sheamus was the one that fucked up. He fucked up his big spot of the match.
Mm-hmm.
When he fell off, that wasn't Riddle's fault. I'll say that wasn't Riddle's fault when he fell. When he was supposed to hit that white noise or whatever off the ropes, Sheamus fell off the ropes. It wasn't Riddle's fault. That was Sheamus.
Well, I think it was a combination, though. They were both very sweaty. They were both trying to do a crazy move off the top that maybe shouldn't have been done. Probably wasn't even planned for the match, and they just said, let's go for it. That bro kick to the throat, though, damn, man, that hurt me. And then Riddle was bleeding.
And that's in my notes, too, that I'll give Riddle some credit that him taking that kick to the face or whatever, I'll give him credit for that. And like I said, he didn't do terrible in this match. What I'm hoping is, and they should do it, and I don't think they will, but this match should be this guy's way of saying, you know what, I've been acting like a douchebag. I haven't been taking my career seriously, and I've been like, bro, and I've been taking shit lightly. And now I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take my job and my career a little more serious. Maybe give the guy a serious edge. That's what they need to do.
The next match, the Intercontinental Championship match, Big E and Apollo Crews in the very vague Nigerian drum match.
Why couldn't they just call it a kendo stick match? Because that's what it was.
Because that's what we need more in professional wrestling is kendo sticks.
I agree, but why didn't they just call it that?
The thing that I thought we were going to see, it seemed like it was going to be funner than what we actually saw.
Right.
Like, to me, they're like, it's a Nigerian drum match. I'm like, there's going to be fucking drummers around.
Right.
Fucking banging on shit. That's going to be fun.
I'm going to say something, and I'm sorry if it bothers our viewers, if it upsets anybody. I mean this with no racial undertones or anything as a way to offend anybody. But what made them decide that Apollo Crews needed to find the accent that Kofi Kingston lost 10 years ago?
Listen. And I'm not WrestleNet Radio is going to give us the opportunity to have shows where we can really, really dissect things. From the beginning of this, and I thought when they first had, I had promising thoughts about this when they first had Apollo come out and acknowledge, I have a Nigerian heritage, and he had the scarf and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I'm cool with this because if anybody ever saw Uha Nation,
Yeah, I was just about to say that that's what he was.
I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad they're going with it.
Right.
Then because they're the WWE, first of all, you have him start talking with an accent. The only guy that's allowed to get away with that is Booker T, because Booker T is crazy ass Booker T. So when Booker T goes into his, he's allowed to get away with that. But not only did they have him conveniently start talking with a stupid accent,
he's talking like Akeem from Coming to America.
They literally, oh my God, made him a spear chucking African. For fuck's sake, it's 2021. You can't do this anymore. You know what I mean?
He's basically Samba Simba of 2021.
That's fucked up, because I was like, oh, he's Samba Simba, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If they would have just let him dress in nice suits,
right,
and talk about his Nigerian
heritage. He could have wore that scarf. He could have even come out with a spear if he wanted to.
That would have been well done and classy.
Right.
That would have been well done and classy in the way they should have done it. Instead, because it's WWE, everything's got to be a fucking cartoon or a caricature. But I am glad that he went over.
I am too. I will say this: when I saw them first do it, I saw the new gear that he got and that scarf. I said, damn, that'll make a pretty good custom. I might make a custom Apollo Crews.
Mm-hmm.
Then he did the accent, and I said, nope, that's not going to happen anymore.
Nope.
I'm not doing that. I refuse to. And then
no, if you made a custom of what they have made his character, Facebook would ban you.
Right, exactly. I'd be canceled. And then I'm like, okay, maybe this could still work because, like you said, Nate, Uha Nation, that's what he was. He was a prominent black figure who was doing things nobody else could for his size and his strength and his ability.
Mm-hmm.
But then everything now is like they're making it more funnier. Like, I'm going to give you the steal. So you just threw some steps at a guy and made it a catchphrase. I mean, and we're going to have a Nigerian drum match. Okay, like Kyle said, I expected there to be like 20 drummers around the ring playing as they were having a fight, and then all of a sudden they're going to hit each other with kendo sticks, and that's it. You know what I mean? And then what a great way to reintroduce Daba Kato from Raw Underground.
And what a great way to make Michael Cole look like a dumbass because he had to act like he's never seen this guy before.
Look at this monster. We've seen him.
I didn't know, who he is. So
it was Daba Kato. He was in the Raw Underground deal.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
When we first saw and heard his name, Nate and I said that it sounded like a curse word.
What the Daba Kato's going on here?
You Daba Kato.
Is Apollo Crews allowed on the Peacock Network?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Live, but they're gonna
but overall, I was not pleased with the concept, but I am pleased that Apollo went over and won the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
The next match on the show. Did anybody else have anything on that one?
No, I just think that coming out of it, I think Big E is going to be a bigger star.
I agree.
The next match on the show, Asuka, Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. Fantastic match.
Yeah. Kyle, what were you going to say? You said who?
I said woo.
Oh, okay.
This match was.
It was, to quote JR, it was bowling shoe ugly, but in a good way. They were really throwing some heavy shots at each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that whoever decided that Rhea Ripley's theme song should be played live, bad. That woman that sings it cannot sing live. She gave me a migraine while she was singing that song.
Yeah, that was pretty awful.
But the match itself was great. Asuka is still being Asuka, and Rhea Ripley is still being the nightmare that she is, and they did a great job. It was not a replay of Bianca versus Sasha. it was a completely different women's match, but still had a great outcome.
Let me put it this way: I'm a musician, so what everything that went on with that is because whoever the hell that is does not know how to scream, how to sing, and that's what you get left with.
You know what? I
Go
love
ahead.
that. I love that Kyle said whoever. Like I picture the ring announcer going, and now to sing Rhea Rip. That's how WWE announcers say Rhea Ripley to the ring. Whoever the hell that
Yeah.
is.
Whoever.
Anyway, but the match itself, fantastic.
I
Actually,
agree.
this was the best match of night 2 for me.
I'll put it up there. I'd say that I like the Kevin Owens and um, Sami Zayn match as well. I'd put them as 1A and 1B. Um, I think Rhea Ripley deserves to win the women's title at WrestleMania, considering what she had to do last year
Yep.
in losing to Charlotte. It's finally great to see her have her moment. I'm just afraid that the minute Charlotte comes back, it's going to be right back to that feud. And guess what? Charlotte's going over again, especially because of what she just went through with Andrade and them telling her, well, you could choose between WrestleMania or your boyfriend getting released. And she said, great, I'll stay off the show. Let him have his release. So, you know.
And Rhea did not have to fall victim to the top end politics of WWE.
No,
Meaning, you know, Charlotte doesn't lose unless Charlotte wants to lose.
right,
Like you were kind of alluding to with Randy Orton earlier.
right.
That's the way I feel about Charlotte Flair. I think, and I'm not going to go off here.
I like Charlotte, but I think
I really
don't.
don't. I have to say, over the years, I have come to the fact that I'm not a Charlotte fan. I think she's overrated. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler, but I don't think she's a top tier wrestler. I think that she has lived off of her name, and the fact that because of that, you know, who's in charge? Vince McMahon, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, et cetera, and they all love Rick,
Right.
and that's his daughter. And I was glad when I heard she wasn't going to be on WrestleMania because I didn't have to watch her fucking shit on somebody again. I'm tired of her. And I'm glad she wasn't on the card.
That's on her OnlyFans.
I agree with you that I'm happy she wasn't on WrestleMania because it gave someone else a shot. But I did not like the way that they tried to play it off. For instance, as I said, they gave her the opportunity. You can either main event WrestleMania or we can allow Andrade to be fired by WWE. She chose her boyfriend. That was great. But then she turned around to the press and said, first, the WWE doctors told me I'm pregnant, therefore I won't be on WrestleMania. Turns out that wasn't the case. And then it was, oh, wait, I have COVID.
Yeah.
So it looked like she was kind of sandbagging a bit instead of saying, oh, yeah, I chose my boyfriend. You know, if you're going to make such a noble stand and say, I want my boyfriend to be released because he's not happy, then stick with it. Mm-hmm. You know, don't make up stories that you have to tell the press and then be like, okay, well, I'm definitely not going to be there. You know
but overall, blessing in disguise.
Yes, I agree.
We got this match, and I really liked this match, and I'm glad Rhea went over. Mm-hmm. And you know, the way the match was, and as 50-50 as it was and everything, you know, Asuka has a case for a rematch, and we could see some more. Nobody came out of this match looking bad. And Asuka's a pro. Asuka does not get... Asuka's overlooked a lot of the time, I think. You know, when they talk about, you know, because they talk about... Everybody talks about lots of female wrestlers in WWE, and her name doesn't, what do I want to say? It doesn't come up as much as it should.
In my opinion,
she's fantastic.
She's a great wrestler. She does great things in that ring. Her entrance is unique. I liked her gimmick. But, and I will say this, there is a reason that many foreigners, such as people from Japan, China, Samoans like Yokozuna, did not talk. So, Yokozuna being the one off because he actually spoke English. But there's a reason they did not talk and had mouthpieces is because they didn't speak English that well. And I think Asuka could use a manager, either male or female, because that rah 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 that she does when she's joking and running around gets me angry for her because it's a bad comic gimmick.
I guess I'm the opposite on it. I love it. And because to me,
she's being an asshole to those people.
Well, not just that, but it's unique. It's uniquely
her.
But it's
uniquely I understand that. But how many times can she do that? It's rah 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 rah. You're not ready for Asuka. End of comment. Okay, great. Now what? You know what I mean? They gotta go somewhere new with it. You know what I mean? And okay, Rhea is the heel right now. Rhea's the heel. So obviously Asuka's still got to be the face. But when Becky was the champion, actually Asuka was the heel, and was actually badass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So now they got to get her back to that badass point. If they're going to leave her a face, she could still be a killer face.
Well, and I do agree with you on that. I think that her gimmick lends more to being a heel.
Right. Fun-loving Asuka doesn't help anybody. You know what I mean?
Unless
she's got a tag partner or a manager to talk for her and do. Then she can be fun-loving Asuka.
Yes.
But as a solo act, she should be a heel. Comes out, destroys her opponent, walks to the back, cuts that promo, making fun of her opponent with that crazy joke voice, and then that's it. That's fine. I'd be okay with that.
The main event, guys. Triple threat match.
Shouldn't have been a triple threat.
Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
Should not have been a triple threat.
You think just Edge Reigns 1-on-1?
Yes. I look, I used to be, and I'm still somewhat of a Daniel Bryan fan, but basically what you made him do this year was say, I'm no longer the guy that needs to earn a shot. I'm the guy that's going to rest on my laurels and get a shot the same way I did 7 years ago against Batista and Randy Orton. I'm going to let the fans bitch until I get what I want. Instead, he bitched this year. Edge went through 29 other superstars from 1 to 30 and earned his shot. Granted, Daniel Bryan won the Elimination Chamber and got dealt a bad deal there. But then he got a rematch at Fastlane. He lost again. It should have still been Edge and Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan did not need to make it a triple threat.
No, I agree, but I think the way they played this up was, I think this is going to be his last WrestleMania, and I think they just shoehorn him in there, right or wrong, to give him one last WrestleMania.
But he could have had one last WrestleMania against somebody else.
Right, but I think they wanted to give him one last main event.
I guess. And look, that's fine. The match was great, actually. I have no problem with the actual way the match was fought. Edge still looked like a superstar. Roman Reigns still looked like the head of the table. But to me, my problem with a triple threat or a fatal four-way is you don't actually get all three guys fighting the whole match. You get one guy laying on the floor while two guys fight. Then the other guy comes in, breaks it up, throws the other guy on the floor. Now these two guys fight. The only time we got all three of them actually fighting, which was a great spot, was when Edge had on the crossface and Daniel Bryan had on the yes lock, and they began headbutting.
And I agree with you. I am not a big fan unless it is done. And I'm just going to use this match as an example. Yep. But unless it is done. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 20. Unless it's done that way, I'm not a big fan of multiple man matches anyway.
Right.
Which is one of the problems I have with AEW, because it seems like every match has 26 people in it.
Right.
Or it fucking feels like it does.
Everybody gets a payday.
Yeah, everybody gets to do their shit. Everybody gets their shit in, pal. But I thought that these three guys, and I understand what you're saying, Archie, and I almost kind of agree with you that they should have kept it 1-on-1. And I don't know if they did this. We don't know the backstage thing. Like, did they do this because Edge said, in my condition, I don't, not in my condition, but I don't know that.
There were a lot of reports that Edge said, look, I can go, but I can't do a 30-minute match on my own.
Right.
You know,
I think that at the end of the day, these three guys did a triple threat match properly.
Again, I had no problem with the match. I thought it was great. I just think that now there's either cause for, okay, who's getting the next title match, or what I'm hoping for is we get Daniel Bryan versus Edge, and Roman moves on to fight somebody else, maybe a Kevin Owens again, or push somebody up the card a little,
Right.
So, but the ending, I liked the way that Roman Reigns dragged both of them on top of each other and pinned them both. This way, nobody can say, "Well, I didn't get pinned." No,
Right.
you both got pinned.
Mm-hmm. And it put Roman over strong as the heel.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
and let's face it like this, okay? If Edge is at that point, because let's face it, he's not a young man anymore, so he's not going to be on the show every week. Daniel Bryan's probably the same position, so why would you not have Roman go over?
Right.
He's going to be the guy that's there every fucking week.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is cutting the best promos of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is believable as this heel, the head of the table.
He is finally playing the role he was born to play.
I agree. All Samoans before The Rock were heels, to my knowledge. Even Peter Maivia did play heel at one point.
Oh yeah, he turned heel on. He challenged Backlund for the title.
Right. So to have Roman now reestablishing that the Samoans are a dangerous, violent people. More power to them. What I would have liked to see was maybe Jimmy Uso finally return and give us all three members of the bloodline as a unit. So that way maybe he's got a little more backup, because Jey Uso keeps getting his ass kicked and it's getting a little tiresome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like how strong Roman has been built, and he's finally getting booed for the right reasons, not just because they hate him.
Yes. All right, guys. Overall, to close out the show here on WrestleNet Radio, the WrestleMania 37 roundtable. Overall, I gotta say, I give WrestleMania 37 a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good Mania this year.
Yep. I can see the 7. I'm going to bump it up to an 8, and I'm saying that because of the simple fact that, again, as I said before, I don't know if the crowd helped it to gain an extra point, but compared to everything we've had the last year,
definitely.
Like I said, it's one of those things. Again, it might be the fans being back in the arena that causes it to jump up. This felt like WrestleMania. This felt like wrestling.
Yes,
I agree. I enjoyed night 1 a little better than night 2.
Same here.
But everybody that went out there did a great job.
Yep.
Having the crowd back added, because we didn't get that BS crowd noise in the Performance Center or in the Buck Stadium when they have it in that small little Thunderdome. It made me happy to be a wrestling fan again and enjoyed watching. And I'll go with Kyle. I'll say a solid 8.
Aaron,
I'd give it a 6.5. I enjoyed the show, and it didn't. It kept me like this night too. I watched the whole thing for the most part. I mean, I got up and did some stuff and everything during something I didn't want to watch, but I didn't not pay attention to it. I think that last match was fantastic, and it was a good show, and both nights were good. And you're never gonna watch a wrestling show that, for the most part, is what's all together. That show was fucking 6.5 hours long, 7 hours long.
Yeah,
2 nights together. You're not gonna watch a 7-hour show and like every single piece of it. So they did a good.
All right. Well, that being said, thank you everyone here on WrestleNet Radio for joining us. We hope you're going to enjoy this service.
Side note: WWE just dumped all of their pay-per-views onto the network
for now.
Oh. Watch it before
I'm
Peacock
seeing.
edits them.
Well, the problem is that, like I said, I was looking through their stuff today, and a couple of WrestleManias. There it says like only 4 days left, so I don't know what the hell that's
Okay.
about. If things are going to disappear,
They used to do that with WWE 24/7. They'd give you like a month of a show and then take it away.
yeah, are we going to have like next? Is it going to be one of these things where it's like
I don't know.
all
I was just trying to
backlashes?
bring up something positive.
Here's all the backlashes, and then you're not going to
Kyle,
see it until
Kyle, you interrupted Aaron, and now you're busting down his positive. Stop it, Kyle.
well, I can't help it. I'd rather be honest with you, fans, than you be disappointed.
Fucking rain cloud.
Well,
we will be doing these pay-per-view roundtables for every pay-per-view. It may not be all of us every time, but they will be airing here on WrestleNet Radio. So many more shows coming up, so much coming up on this radio station. I am very, very excited for it because guess what? There are a million wrestling podcasts out there. And I think personally, our podcasts are some of the best. But I don't know that there is a 24-hour-a-day pro wrestling talk radio station.
Damn
So
right.
I think gents and I think listeners that are on the ground floor of this, I think we're doing something big here. I am very excited for it. Thank you all for being with us as we start this journey with WrestleNet Radio. And we will see you next time around. We return you back to whatever the hell is airing on the station right now. Nate Maxson signing off for my guys and this crew on WrestleNet Radio. We'll see you on our next pay-per-view roundtable. And stay tuned for announcements for more shows. Like the Facebook page to get more information on the schedule and what is going on WrestleNet Radio. And thank you guys for joining me on the WrestleMania Roundtable.
thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.